Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast, a Colts podcast made by Colts fans who tell it how it is. I'm Josh Hudgens, and joined by me as usual is Dan Hertzler. Today it hurts to be a Colts fan as they lose to the Eagles. Hopefully you see what I did there. They blew it, Dan. They blew it.
Yeah, that joke was probably about as good as the ending of that Colts game, man. Yeah, this one hurts a lot because there you go. I say the same thing. I'm not any better than you. It's just painful because they do almost everything right and then still kind of lose the game against one of the best teams that NFL has right now. And, with all the promise and all the hope, and then it just feels empty at the end here. So, as we do always here in the Common Colt show, we're talking about one word that kind of brings all the emotions together. Josh, give me one word we can feel right now.
I'm deflated. I'm deflated. They had this game in the bag. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling charged up to run out of the show and say the Colts are back. And then the last minute and a half happens and the Colts fall. Not only did they let up a Hurts walk-in touchdown, but then that last drive was ugly. They had opportunities and they couldn't seize them. Dan, how are you feeling?
Well, I'm gonna pull on the pun and keep going with. I'm going with Hurts. Okay, not only do we got Jalen Hurts walking in for the game-winning touchdown, but it just hurts to cheer for this team, to kind of rally the troops after all the craziness. You see them starting to play better. They're starting to look like we thought they would look at from the beginning of the season. Just a well-organized team, run the ball, play good defense, do everything right, win games, and they did that for really 75-80% of the game, and then they just blow it at the end. You mentioned the last drive. You got a minute, maybe 15 left. You got timeouts. You just need a field goal. You get a nice kind of first few plays, and then just kind of sputters there at the end. It just hurts as a Colts fan. I'm not even sure what else to say.
Yeah, it's painful. And guys, as we move on here, we usually give a game ball. If you win, we give a good game ball. If they lose, we give the Curtis Painter Game Ball Award. And then we're going to talk about moral victories. And if we should take moral victories, I hate the term, but that's coming up soon. But who are you giving your bad game ball to? Who cost the Colts this win more than anybody?
Yeah, to me, it's the kicker. I mean, you missed that field goal there when they had a chance to go up and really just seize those opportunities and to go up by 13 at the time. Not only do you miss the field goal and you cost some points, but then you give the Eagles good field position, who at their offense up to that point had done nothing. The Colts were just pinning them back and holding them down. Now you give them good field goal. They go down and score. We come back, we get a field goal. We're only up 6 instead of 9. We're up by 9 there. Completely different game. Everything would have been different. You just got to make field goals, and the Colts can't afford that. And so, Chase, you're getting my Curtis Painter ball because you got to make that field goal.
Yeah, I'm going to give the ball to everybody on the offense. Again, this just feels like a broken record, and including Parks Frazier. Because that last drive where the Colts could have got a touchdown and gone up 2 scores late, their second to last drive of the game, they called some double motion, fake handoff to Pitt. I don't know what the play call was. It's something that you would see the Chiefs use, but they actually have the players for it. We got Matt Ryan. We can't be all mobile and cute with it. We can't be. We got to be basic and we got to be efficient. So I didn't like some of the play calls. I didn't like the offensive line play. Even though they've been improved this since, especially early in this year, they still had opportunistic screw ups. I thought that Matt Ryan took some bad sacks in his own way and made some plays that he shouldn't have made. So it's just kind of a collective offensive poor effort where the defense really kept them in the game. If the defense had a bad game, this game would have been a blowout. Honestly, the defense kept us in it.
Yeah. I was going to say, what do you even think of that? I mean, I know it's 4th and 16, but what do you think of even Jackson, going out of bounds on 4th down? Like, what are you doing at that point? I mean, that's just game awareness there that, you just can't afford in these types of games when you're playing good teams, just go run out of bounds on 4th down. Throw a lateral or something.
What's Taylor not doing in on that play?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they, just were simply going to keep him in for blocking and then he wasn't, he released late. I have no idea. To me, you mentioned Parks, some of the play calling, They took that one shot that got them down the drive before on it looked like a nice corner route.
Yeah.
But very, very few shots down the field. Very, very few outside of the kind of the slants, the 10-yard curls. I don't know of how many balls traveled more than 10 yards that Matt Ryan threw. And in those moments when you got to win the game, where's the tight ends too? I don't see any tight end usage. It's just, a little bit, like you said, that offense just lacking a lot of creativity.
Yeah, they didn't feel quite as inept as they did earlier in the season. I mean, there are some points this year where they looked like bad, but they just couldn't. I mean, the defense put them in some great spots, good field position most of the game, really, and just completely squandered it. I'm thinking about this game, and one thing I hate, and this moral victories, in my opinion, goes right along with the participation trophies conversation. I mean, people love or hate moral victories, and I personally hate moral victories, but I'm already seeing it on Twitter that the Colts, they lost this game, but they should feel good about it because the Eagles have the best record in the league, and some think they're the best team in the league still. And what do you think about all that?
Yeah, moral victories, isn't in the scorebook. There's nothing in the box score that says win, loss, tie, moral victories. It's not going to get you to the playoffs. It's not going to get you over the hump. I think a better term, a better ideology would be saying that which way are they trending? Okay, are they trending in a positive direction? Or are they trending in a negative direction? You can see this game, and yeah, you can feel good now that the Colts are trending in a good direction. Remember, we're still 2 weeks away from that Patriots game where they were trending rock bottom, and now they're trending up. Jeff Saturday is doing a good job. He's reestablished the run game. He's got this defense flying to the ball. Some good things that are happening, and we're seeing that. Matt Ryan back in the offense stabilizes the offense. We're not seeing a lot of negative plays, but they still lost the game. They didn't do enough. Their bad pass interference call. Whether that was a good call from the Eagles, I think it was a good call. The Hurts touchdown, they still let him walk into the end zone without anyone even near him. I mean, he literally could have walked into the end zone.
Yeah, that was bad.
You've got
he almost did.
Field goal. You've got some bad play calls. Matt Ryan holding the ball too long. So moral victory, no, it stinks. Are they trending better? Yeah, they're trending better, and that's something we can be encouraged by.
Yeah, when you think about it, if you're a Colts fan, I mean, they still kind of have an outside shot of making the playoffs. So when you think about trending and improving, I mean, this is only Jeff Saturday's second week as a coach, and I'm already seeing improvements in fast starts. I mean, they hadn't scored on a touchdown on an opening drive since Christmas of last year against the Cardinals. I mean, we're about a month away from a year from that. I mean, so they got an opening drive touchdown. So their slow starts are getting better. The line, while it had its hiccups today, I still think that's trending in the right direction. They got that rookie out there who's making some mistakes, a lot of penalties actually. But they did hang in there with the best record team in the NFL. And we're looking at their schedule a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago when we seen the Saturday announcement and we thought Sam Ehlinger was the quarterback. Yeah. This game could. I mean, I'm surprised that they kept it close almost, and I'm surprised that we're even, that they would have almost won this game. If you would have told me 2 weeks ago that they would have been leading pretty much the whole game. I'm still hurt. I'm upset. I hate moral victories. I don't think you can take a moral victory from this because you lost and these losses are piling up. You're 4-6-1, and at the end of the day, you are what your record says you are. And in the NFL. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. The Colts, however you slice it, they're a losing team. They're a bad team, and they found a way to lose this football game. I think that's all there is to that.
Yeah, there's some positives in the fact that a good loss, which we'll call this a good loss, not a moral victory, but a good loss, is when the team plays well and they lose, which ultimately will help their draft pick. Because let's just be honest again. You and I both believe this was going to be a good team coming into the season. But they weren't going to be kind of that top of the line. They weren't going to be the real contenders. Now as the season's gone on, sometimes they're a good team, but more or less they're not a good team. So what's the best thing a not a good team can do is get draft picks. They got to get a quarterback. They got to move on from some of these guys. So if they keep looking good and losing, hey, I'm all for that because looking at the schedule, looking at what's ahead, I think they can only afford one more loss if those out there are talking playoffs, one more loss is really what they can afford, and they still got a tough schedule ahead of them.
Yeah, looking at their schedule, and we're not going to go through every game they play, and it's so hard. I know people love to throw a schedule graphic up and start circling wins and losses, but injuries happen, things happen, coaches changes. At the end of the day, they have some winnable games left, but they also have some tough games left, and they do have an outside shot at making the playoffs. But in order to do that, this offense is going to have to find a way to get a lot better in a short amount of time. We're 11 games into the season, and they're just not good on offense. They're just not good.
Let me tell you this. I think next week's game is the game you can circle, because that's the indication whether or not the rest of the season we either cheer for them to lose every game or we actually can entertain the thoughts of playoffs. Like, I'm not even letting you entertain the thoughts of playoffs right now, Josh. Like, I'm not letting you get away with that.
I want to.
I'm not letting you get away with that because they're 4-6-1. But if they lose next week, it's lose every game of the rest of the season.
I'm fine with that.
But if they can beat the Steelers, now they're 5-6-1. I'll let you entertain the thought of playoffs.
Okay. I think so if they win that game, 5-6-1, I'm going to be coming in loud and proud because my Colts are back in it. But hey, right now, all I want to do is lay on my couch and with some tissues and cry because we freaking blew it against the Eagles, man. And I've got a friend who's a big Eagles fan. I know he's going to be messaging me later tonight about how proud he is of his team.
Eagle fans are the worst, man. There's nothing worse than Eagle fans. So I'm sorry you actually have a friend that's an Eagle fan.
Yeah, it's
sad to hear.
It is sad. But hey, guys, the Colts lose to the Eagles. Some are out there giving moral victories, participation trophies. We're saying they're improving. Stay tuned. Middle of the week, we got another episode coming out, guys, right around Thanksgiving probably. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks for watching the Common Colt Podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think about the game, what went wrong. And until next time, have a great day.